Grand Rising, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining us this morning. At 9 a.m., we will close our social media and continue on Zoom only. Join us by getting your Zoom link at elizabethvisionaryconference.org. We'll be there until 10 a.m. You can go now, and we'll see you in the Elizabeth Zoom room. Peace. Today, your hosts are Queen Aduni, Danni Stillwell, and Lolly Mariah Talbot. Enjoy.
Grand Rising, Elizabeth.
Grand Rising.
It is so good to be here today. Today is October. No, we're November. We're in November the 4th. And it is good to be alive. This is really what the Thanksgiving thanks month, the month that's time with it, that if you didn't do it all year, you should be grateful and thankful this year, this time, this month. So just want to welcome everybody. And if I could see a few faces so I don't feel like I'm talking to the computer, that would be wonderful. Although your pictures are gorgeous. We're excited about today. We're going to share some really good information. It's going to cause some questions in your mind, and just kind of another thing to share. Grand Rising, Sunzi. Sunzi's always got that beautiful smile, and you can always see joy in her no matter what she's going through. What the challenges are of life. My goodness gracious. Let me see. My partners aren't on yet. So let me find something that we can share. Why don't each of you give a good Grand Rising to let us hear your voices?
Grand Rising, Grand Rising.
And what's your word for today? What's your word for this weekend to carry you through?
Gratitude, in spite of gratitude. Yeah.
There you go. You said I don't even have to say the other part. Just gratitude, period. I hear you. Someone else?
Mine is purpose.
Good stuff. That'll create your pathway. Does this add to my purpose? Sunzi.
Netzach, which is victory in Hebrew.
Say that again.
Netzach.
Netzach.
Yes. And yes, it has and will continue to add to my vision.
It means what? Purpose?
Victory.
Oh,
yes.
That's the big V. The big V is in the house.
Yes.
Oh, we lost our girl, Jacqueline. Here she comes. Here she comes. Oh. Yeah. Okay, Jacqueline, what's your word that carries you through the weekend?
You're on mute.
Oh.
Thank you.
No problem.
The word that carries me through the weekend is Earth Day. And that's because there's this awesome, I call him Baba Ari. I don't know if you know, do you know Ari Shin?
Yes.
Ari Shin is like a brother to me.
See, that's my poppy.
Oh, wow.
So yeah. I call him, I haven't talked to him in a few months, but I called him actually I texted him first, and then I called him, and then he wound up telling me I celebrated my Earth Day
Yes,
on
I was
October
there.
6th. And I
Sunday
was
was
like,
there.
how did I not hear about this?
We was dancing and stuff, and
He
Sunday
said,
got in the circle and danced and honored him. Yeah, the
he
80.
sent me, you
Yeah,
see, he was decked out in his red. He
yes,
sent me pictures. Wait a minute, let me show the kind of, I'm like, Ari, look, wait a minute, let's see.
yes,
He was decked out in his red.
yes,
Oh,
yes,
just
yes.
so cute. I was like, how did I miss? And then I'm looking back and with everything going on with my mom and everything, it's like, but anyway, tomorrow is my Earth Day.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
Congratulations.
So
happy
I
birthday.
thank you.
And
So I'm
thank you for choosing Earth so we could meet you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
so I'm gonna hold on to that because I like that Earth Day. I'm gonna stop saying birthday.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
start
say
saying
that.
Earth Day.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's how I'm gonna spend my weekend.
Oh,
Enjoying.
awesome, awesome.
that
So what are
sounds
you doing
great.
tomorrow?
I met a new guy about a month ago, trying that,
Uh-oh.
trying that online stuff. But so far it's going well. So he's gonna take me to dinner tomorrow.
Now, is this
Okay.
you first? Is this the first time you physically meet him?
Nope, we've gone out maybe about 4 times.
Oh, okay. Hey, baby.
All right.
So he's gonna take me to dinner tomorrow. And his first thought was J. Alexander's, which I loved J. Alexander's,
Mm-hmm,
but I was like, then it's just sitting and talking.
mm-hmm.
So I like jazz and doing things. So I woke up 3 days ago and Cliff Bell's came to mind. Hadn't been
Yeah.
there in a while. So I looked it up, everybody's reservation. So I checked to see if they had a reservation. So I sent him the link and it's like, have you heard of this place? It's like, no, it looks interesting.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's a nice place. The food is good too.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Cliff Bell's, Dirty Dog Cafe.
mhm.
I
Yeah,
like
I went there last week.
I like, and then even I live over here close to, dang, I can't think of it, off Livernois and 8 Mile.
Oh yeah,
Bakery.
that's the
Bakers.
Baker's Keyboard Lounge. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to Cliff Bell's. So I'm
So who's
looking for,
performing?
it's a young man that he's a pianist, and he said he had, I just did it's like as long as there's something, to break the need to talk all the time.
Exactly. Right.
Too bad. Well, I'm not gonna look for it because I love to dance. Otherwise, I would have found some place to go dancing. But my knees have caught up with my age. So dancing is not on the ticket right now. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. And then tonight, to celebrate, today is my youngest daughter and her husband's anniversary. It's like when they got married, it's like, why you guys chose the day before my birthday to get married?
Right.
So today is their anniversary, and I'm going to babysit my 3-year-old grandson tonight while they go celebrate their anniversary. So
Oh, isn't that nice of you? Oh,
That's a good way to start your birthday celebration.
yeah,
A little fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
He loves his Mima. He started out calling me Mon, but then I got 2 that are 3-year-olds, and the other one was calling me Mima, but the other one calls both me and his other grandma Mima, which I don't like, but hey. And then this one comes because they've lived in Indiana, then they've moved here, and with him being around Wesley more, now he's calling me Mima. It's like, dang.
Embrace it. Embrace it. I got a question for you. Grand Rising, all my sisters.
Grand
Grand
Rising.
Rising, sweetie.
Rising.
I got a question for you, Miss Jackie. What are you doing to strengthen your hip, thigh, and leg muscles to help compensate for what's happening with your knees?
I have therapy. I'm going through therapy.
Okay,
Plus,
Yeah.
yeah. So this started, well, we can talk off about it, but yeah, I'm going through therapy and I have my daily exercises and I'm actually this week I had to back off because my hip started hurting.
There
From
are
my
remedies.
knees. And I went to the doctor and they told me the same thing that's with my knees. So I backed off this week and it's been good. I don't know if you all know Mama Dina. Have you
Yes.
guys probably know her? Now she's my auntie.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So she gave me some collagen, some like micro minerals. and
Very
stuff
good. Keep
else
on
to
it.
take. Yeah, and actually I took a picture of the bottle, so I'm about to send them to her, tell her to order it, because she and I are traveling next week, and what she gave me were samples, so I feel good about them. So I'm gonna tell her to make sure she orders some for me so I can take them on our trip.
With those products, when you take them, people who need hip and knee surgery, after a month of being on them, they don't need it anymore.
Oh, wow.
So
Well,
What
I'm
I'm
not
on
to
it.
the point. You go. I'm not to the point of needing the, but I sure right now. This week actually it's been calm. So
Probably something in your diet.
I'm more toward vegan. So, but we'll see. But right now I haven't exercised this week, but I'm planning to get back to my exercise in the morning, and then I'm just gonna slowly get back. So.
yeah, that's strong.
Sometimes there are things I'm not going to hold up, but sometimes there are things in the vegetarian line that can even destroy. It's good to, when you eat something the day before, notice what you feel like the day after.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
the best thing.
Because I learned through that flour, like flour-based things, cause my joints. So that's what I was noticing. I would eat, and then that next day, like you said, my fingers and joints and stuff. So
Yes.
I don't eat bread or any of that stuff now. So, but I'll pay attention to these other things. But so far this week has been calm. So I'm attributing it to what she's given me. And then she has her mineral liquid. Put 16 drops of that. It's like, okay.
She's fire. You see her dance with her what was that loop? Or she was tearing it up on the floor.
Oh, ballrooming.
Yeah.
With her ballroom.
Yeah.
But to let you know, my connection to Mama Dina is she is the aunt of my second cousin, like my mom's first cousin.
Yeah.
His wife, she's the aunt to his wife. So we met, I moved here to Michigan in 2003, and about 2005, they used to always have these big Thanksgiving gatherings. And one gathering, one time, we stayed at the house for like 3 days, and we found out we both love to dance, and it's been on ever
Oh.
since.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Is MSM one of the supplements you're using? M as in Mary, S as in Sam, M as in Mary.
That's one that goes with like the glucosamine stuff.
Well, it can, but when you use it by itself, it may be more effective. It is something natural that the body produces, but less of as we age.
MSM.
It's a good product.
Methyl sulfur something, but yeah, you can look it up. But yeah,
I'll mention that to Mama too.
Yeah, it makes a world of difference for our joint health.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Juanita.
Gladly, we all got a little something to share, huh?
That's right. That's right.
Mama Dina, she has products and knowledge. So.
But when's she coming on?
She didn't wake up this early.
We had to do a special
I told her about it, but she was like, okay, we'll see.
She and I both are hooked up with Dr. Vincent.
Yeah. Vincent water. I've got some of his Vincent. I mean, like I said, I've been with her. So she been trying. Jackie, you need to try this. And
you should get Baba Vincent on here too. He knows a lot.
He don't have time unless you're purchasing his product or taking his classes.
Well, we can do that, can't we, somehow?
Well,
Well,
I can
Pam-
definitely have him on one day. He'll be happy to, I'm sure.
to
Oh,
share.
that'd be good.
Well, we'll definitely have him when we do conferences and stuff like that. Because I can get that he wants to serve those that are
In need.
Yeah, I
well,
want to get Dr. Jesse Brown on here too.
yeah, not just in need, but those who are I want to say
Enterprising.
supporting him, but not supporting him, but that,
Enterprising.
yeah, and he's not talking about that you buy one product and then that's it. He wants to
Right.
those who listen and want that information.
Right.
Okay, so what I am doing is I am reaching for it. That was Lolly just texting me. I forgot it was Friday. And I want to get some good word in here. Anyway. Star. Greet
Yes.
us. You haven't, yeah, greet us. And Lily, lovely Lily B. Give us some greeting words. Some grand rising words.
Well,
Oh yeah, beauty.
Oh, hey, y'all.
Hi.
The
Hey,
beautiful people. It's Friday.
Yes,
it's
Friday.
Friday.
Yes, yes. It's a beautiful day to have a beautiful day. Good people. I just
Mm.
got off work. I'm amped up off of air. So
It's so
Where
good
do
to
you-
see your beautiful, happy face.
Where do you
I just
work,
wanna say,
Lily B?
Where do you?
Oh. Oh, wow, okay.
Yep, taking care of folks per usual.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
they love you.
Yeah, she
Yes,
has
yes.
such a beautiful spirit that when she walks in and then she pops that big smile on your face, on her face,
My
it makes
clients
you
love me.
smile. What'd you say?
I try my best to keep them happy and singing. You know, it's easy
Yeah.
for people to go. It's especially with disabilities, it's more
Yes.
easier for them to go into depression.
Yes.
So I try to keep them happy as much as I can. We gonna smile over here after you done crying. Yes, yes. But I just want to peep in and say, hey, ladies, I'm here.
Got you, babe. Thank you.
Thank you for gracing us with that beautiful face and smile.
Oh,
Mhm.
thank you.
Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yana said we love you, Mama Juanita. Well, we love all of y'all.
Yeah, we
Love
love
y'all.
Love
you
you
too.
too.
That's Ayana, you said,
Yep, here she go.
hey, baby,
Well, good folks.
how we feeling today?
Well, and ready. She said, well, like a well done turkey. Yep.
Did I hear you say that the due date is
When I lay on
passed?
my back, I feel like a turkey real
Am
bad.
I right?
Yes.
Is our due date passed?
Nope, it's on the 12th.
On the 12th, okay.
Yes.
We are about to have our first baby.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
We all up in her business. Don't do this.
Yes.
Don't do that. And what? And make sure you do this. And make sure you do this. Oh my God.
No, that's good to have somebody positive in your ear to give you a little something. That's what I call. Yes, yes. All right, y'all know I get to talk too much, so let me go on and mute my phone and finish listening.
Love y'all.
Star, you want to greet us?
hi.
hi. Happy day.
Well,
I do have a question that I want to ask everybody.
uh-huh.
If you could have anything you wanted, what would it be?
Peace.
Unlimited resources.
Yes.
Peace, money, love, all that unlimited resources.
Unlimited resources. I love that.
Yes.
In all areas. I agree.
Yes.
You know, sometimes all I need is sunshine. You know, that gets me going.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good.
Well, if I had peace, all of that would be involved.
Yes, yeah.
You're going up against the whole system, boo. So I understand why you say peace. Just peace. I would say wisdom. Because I really today, I mean, yeah, today and on, I must tap into wisdom. I will be all up into Jacqueline's world this weekend and forever, because I need to, you know, I have so many things going on that I need to just, as it was going crazy, I was sharing with Star about what was going on. And then I remember what you need to do is just write them all down, see them, give them what their importance is, write that down.
Right, Jacqueline.
See
And-
this?
There we go. Yeah.
I'll send you I can send you a copy to print out, but write it down.
Write it
Get out
down.
your
And
head.
what are they important? That's how I decided whether to live in Detroit. Well, I was in Baltimore. I had, which was really nothing. It was there for a job. And then I went to San Diego. Well, I went to LA in San Diego, which is my home. And then Detroit. And I said, okay, I got to make a decision because I need to go somewhere and settle down. And that's how I did it. I put the pros and cons of both of them, of all three of them. And Detroit just won out. You know, the weather was not on the positive side on Detroit.
Right.
I have a map.
But
which
everything
shows-
else worked. Mhm.
I have a map which shows the safest places to live in the country due to the changes that are going to be taking place.
Mhm.
And I sat down with Spirit and I went through each state. And by traveling to the South, I can see some of the changes that are taking place, sinkholes and things. It's a lot of changes. We're not finished. And there's over 100 earthquakes per day all over the world. And so we have to take into account all of those things. And like I told you earlier, they said that Detroit was one of the places the light workers had to be at this time. That doesn't mean that we don't live someplace else, but there are a lot of spiritual aspects that we have to look at when it comes to land destruction and all that other stuff. So we can talk about that later.
Yeah. Well, that was not one of them things. It wasn't that deep. It was really, it was generally the weather and stuff. My husband says that Detroit is one of the safest places because it's sometimes it doesn't have the tornadoes and it doesn't have, because of the positioning that wherever we are. And I mean, obviously I could live here. But I want to add traveling to that, a lot of traveling to be able to go wherever I want to go, whenever I want to go, however I want
That's
to
right.
go, and all of that. So yeah, so that's what I did. And this one is around where I need to really put my energy. Because that sounds good. Well, then I need that too. And then that's and all of them cost. And so, you know, the amount of financial resources that I have right now. Did you hear how I worded that? The amount of financial resources that I have right now can only take care of something. I got to select which one's going to give me the greatest impact, and which one would affect the others so that they still go forward. Anyway, I got to do. That's what I get to do this weekend, and then follow up, of course, with that for the rest of my life, so that I'm not all over the place. Being an Aquarian and being a visionary, I can be all over the place, and all of it makes sense to me.
Right.
Sam, why are you shaking your head like that? You act like you live with me. Oh my goodness gracious. Let me see. Juanita, did you share?
I think I did probably share too much, didn't I? I've been yapping. It's so good to see everybody. Happy Friday, my loves. Oh my God.
Mhm.
Y'all are such a blessing.
Okay, well, we're gonna go on into what our topic is today. And I'm gonna play, it's like 30, I don't know, I posted a Nasara Jasara. It was about an hour. I don't know if you listened to it. And
Yeah. Yes. Thank you for sending it.
yeah, but if you haven't, we will repost it so it is present now.
Where did you post this?
Oh, it is. And Jacqueline, I wanted to ask you, did you want to be part of the group? We have a what is that thing called? WhatsApp?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Are you on there now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we'll pull you into the group, and that's where we post and post different things. And I meant to ask you, same with you, Takrisha.
Well, thank you.
Because that's where, you know, different posts are. Nasara Jasara. Star, you want to start off with kind of an explanation of what that is? I got you, Takrisha.
Nasara Jasara, basically, what Nasara Jasara does is it brings hope back to the people. Because you probably have heard about the 1% that has everything. Well, the 1% are not good people, and they are stealing and robbing from the people. So Nasara Jasara,
not all of them are good people. They're not all bad. Well, they're not good people.
We're talking about the ones that ain't
the ones. Go ahead, baby.
And so Nasara Jasara comes to bring the power back to the people.
Yeah.
To take us back to the original Constitution. That's what Nasara Jasara does. And so when Sheila starts explaining and playing what she's going to play, this is what is happening now. They're in the process of doing it now because it's a process. It's not something that happens overnight. And basically, it's a benefit for the people. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
That's all you get right now. Okay, where is it at? Yeah. Grand Rising, Lolly.
Rising. Sorry, I made a tea last night with lavender and blue lotus and Daviana, and then I slept very well. Let's just say that.
Okay. While I'm preparing this, you want to share anything? Let's see, Elizabeth.
Nothing in particular. Today is just a very beautiful day. This week is a very beautiful week. And I saw someone made a post the other day and they were just talking about, and I want to do this, but getting a jar and in that jar, and then getting 4 index cards and cutting them up in little squares. And every time something good happens, writing it down on a little square and putting it in a jar. And when you finish with those squares, all the squares you cut up, you're going to look at that jar and you're going to be able to count every blessing that you've had in the past week, 2 weeks, however long it takes you. And really, that's just since it's November just having that gratitude for the things that are happening to you in life, because it's oftentimes very, very easy for us to think about all the things that are going wrong all the time. But we are all very blessed. We are all just given so many opportunities to grow, to do better, to get what we need for our lives. And so let's just take some time to acknowledge that. And that's really all I have to say today. Just have gratitude. That is all. That is all.
That is all.
Yes, amen.
Okay.
Ashe.
I don't want to start the wrong thing here.
Keep me from being upset.
Can I share something real quick that came to mind?
Oh, please.
Sister Lolly, that was awesome what you shared. To add to that, take the challenge of, even today, take out a piece of paper and write down 25 good things that you remember from your life. Because I was challenged with that a while ago, and it was like, man, as I started writing, next thing I know, I was like at 75. It was like,
Good.
awesome. And it made me feel happy. And I think I shared this with you all before too, on my bathroom. Around that time too, I typed up this sheet, think, and it goes, think, what are you happy and grateful for today? Blah, 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 blah. And I've got that posted in on the mirror in my bathroom.
Oh, that's nice.
So that's my sharing. Thank you.
But thanks for that.
Ashe. Counting our blessings, not our problems.
Exactly.
Our problems. I'm learning that the problems, what we call, they're illusions.
Oh.
They're illusions.
It's a situation. It's not a problem. It's something that's an opportunity, right?
Right.
Queen, because of you, look.
Yeah, that's yeah. That's
because of you. I was like, let me check that out.
Check that out. Okay, I am really hoping that this is the one. I had it all set up, and let me just hear just a little bit of this first, and then.
Family, this is Dr. Kia Pruitt. It is Friday, or Friday, as people call it.
She's
August
a real
the 24th,
happy person.
I think, or is it the 25th? I don't know. I'm losing track of time. 2022, and the time is 11:30 a.m. Hello, my darlings. I hope you have had an amazing week. Life is so full of abundance, and the Federal Reserve banking system, 2 courts. Joyous rising, family.
Okay. Because I really want to make sure you have the right one. Okay, if it's not, then we'll switch.
Well, where can we find it? We might can get there ourselves.
What is it?
Is it YouTube or?
Yeah, it's YouTube.
And what's the name of it?
Well, she has she does a whole lot, but this one is It's Happening. We are soon to become wealthy. Learn how to live in the private now.
Okay. Thank you.
I know it was 30, like 31 minutes. So let's ride with this. And then you can always look up Dr. Kia Pruitt. She talks about a few other things, but she's very well versed around the Nasara Jasara. Or Pam, was I going to do the I don't even know why it's not even on there. Hold on. I'm going to let her go ahead and start, because we can always pull more in. And so Star and Sunzi and myself are very involved in this process. So we can we can answer some questions, and we are not masters of this. There's so many parts to Nasara Jasara, but I want you all to be aware of what's going down, what's coming down the pipe. Actually, it is going down right now, and it's been happening for years, and it really kicked it off when 911 happened. So you'll get a little more understanding as you dig into some of the other videos about Nasara Jasara. Pam, was I? No, I know I had, it was her. Anyway, let's go.
Dr. Kia Pruitt.
How do you spell
Friday?
How do you spell Nasara Jasara?
Nesara.
It's like N period, E period, S period, A period. Yeah.
Okay. And then the Jasara.
Nasara is good enough. Jasara is global.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, it's just, it's the N and a G. You just change the letters.
Okay.
Okay, hold on just 1 minute, because I think I'm right here.
One thing I'm grateful for is that we have this Elizabeth's call where we can learn about so many different things amongst each other that maybe we never would tap into outside of it. So I'm grateful for that today.
That's true.
Right, and information is not about whether you agree or disagree. It's information.
That's right.
And then you do what you feel very comfortable with. Because some things are going to happen whether you agree or not. You just may not know about it. Okay. All right. No, those are too long. Okay, we're going to go with what we were talking about. We're going to let Miss Lady talk.
They say knowledge is power, but it's really the utilization of knowledge that's power. So we can get this information. If you want to take it and use it, it's going to be on you.
Okay, Missy Lady, I'll come back down to you. Oh, she talks about the laws that rule the planet. She talks about those, 11 laws or something like that. Did I lose it? What happened? All right, here we go.
Federal Reserve banking system, 2 courts to the highest court.
Are you driving way less than you used to? Do you have a clean driving record? Are you over 25?
22 and the time is 11:30 a.m. Hello, my darlings. I hope you have had an amazing week. Life is so full of abundance and joy and peace and juiciness that I hope you're availing yourself of it and making the best of what life has to offer. Now, family, it is my great pleasure to come to you today to talk about events that will soon occur. But first, I hope you enjoyed my series about the 12 universal laws, because once you understand these laws and fully understand them, you can embrace them and utilize them to the best of your ability to make yourself have a joyous, happy life, because that's how we live over here, my darling. We are full of joy and love and peace and abundance, because it all starts in the mind. We have an abundance mentality. So your mind influences your feelings and emotions, and your emotions influence how you behave. And then your behavior becomes a habit. And before you know it, you have manifested all the love, peace, joy, success, and abundance that you ever desired. So let's get right into the topic for today. We're talking about the global currency reset and what to do after this occurs and after the revaluation of currencies. My notes just fell on the floor, but I'm just going to have to do this by memory. So first,
global currency reset, that they call that, they refer to that as GCR, the GCR. When you hear somebody talk about GCR, it's the global currency reset, global being 209 countries. So all over the world, this is happening to reset the value so that we can exchange and do business anywhere and everything's the same. Okay.
First of all, let me say that, as you all know, that most of the exporting nations have dispersed or done away with trading with the United States dollar. That is very significant because, as we've been reporting since 2017, there was an agreement among 209 countries to ditch the United States dollar as the reserve currency and to move to a gold and silver standard. So now, we didn't have any documents to prove this. We were just told this by military intel. And I know everybody says they have, oh, I have these military people who tell me things. And of course, there was a Q that was out, and Q has the highest military clearance in all the land. And so Q had put out some information, but some of us actually know people who were part of the farmers' claims that led to NASARA. So what happened was the farmers took the United States corporation and the Federal Reserve banking system to courts, to the highest court, and said that these banking systems were participating in nefarious or illegal, unlawful practices that made the farmers slaves. And if the farmers didn't sow Monsanto seeds, and if they didn't do what the banks told them to, such as you can only grow certain plants, or you can only have certain cattle, if they did not agree to follow that, some of them were taken off the planet or killed. I don't want to say the word. And then some of them were actually penalized by having exorbitant interest rates, and some of them had their farms burned down, and it was just horrible. Even during the trials, some of the farmers' attorneys came up missing. So this was huge, though, because what happened was it was found in court that yes, the banking systems had participated in nefarious, unlawful behavior against the farmers, but not only against the farmers, but against we the people. And so those claims led to the National Economic Security and Reformation Act. And the global version of that is the Global Economic Security and Reformation Act. So I'm very fortunate and very grateful to the Most High for having met two farmers who participated in the farmers' claims, and one of them happens to be my mentor. Additionally, I became friends with a couple of people who actually know or knew the Empress of the Empress of the Moors, or the people who are classified as Black, but who are actually indigenous people. We had an Empress, allegedly. I say allegedly because everybody doesn't believe this or know this, and her name is Empress Everette-Hale Tunica Bay, or Turner Bay, because Tunica was turned into Turner, that name. And she took the United States Corporation to court, and she said, you all did not purchase the Louisiana Purchase, which was actually greater than just purchasing Louisiana. It was a massive amount of land from Canada, I believe, all the way through the Caribbean. But she said, you didn't purchase this. This was actually called a Louisiana theft. You all stole the land from my people, the indigenous peoples, erroneously classified as Black or African American or Negro or colored. And if you guys study Walter Plecker, you know that he is one of the most significant figures of changing our designation so that people can come and steal our land and we wouldn't know who we were, et cetera, et cetera. He and the Census Bureau. But back to the Empress. Empress Everette-Hale Tunica Bay said, you all stole land from my people, and as such, you will return compensation to us. And she won a judgment of $85 quadrillion, for the Moors or indigenous peoples, and for our family members who married into our bloodline. Because as you all know, when Europeans came here, we actually acknowledged them as having their own nation. So they were the United States of Morocco, or United States of America. And the way you spell that, actually, UNITED is the lowercase u, and states lowercase s is STATES, so United States of capital A, capital of America. So we had treaties with the Europeans that came here, or the people that, you know, became known as colonists, but they came here and had their own nation. And that's why you heard President Donald Trump say Morocco acknowledged us as our own nation, because we did. We were a part of the Moroccan Empire. We acknowledged them as their own nation, and we had treaties to trade with them. In a treaty, one of them is called the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. Now, when the Republic is restored, our treaties will then again be honored. Some people say that those treaties will change in nature. I'm not sure, but I know treaties are to be honored. So we look forward to, with great excitement, the Republic, our natural lawful government, being restored, and being restored to constitutional law, and getting away from admiralty or maritime law, which was the law of the sea, the law of the waters. And those laws were created by the nefarious bloodlines who control the world, your Rockefellers, your Rothschilds. And please know that all of their bloodline is not evil. It was only a faction of them. But
over the past 6 months, we have been investigating as well as exposing the truth behind all of these food processing.
They usurped our great government, the Republic, and they instituted their own constitution, which is the Constitution of the United States, America Incorporated. That company is actually registered as a nonprofit religious organization out of Delaware. It is not a country that was operating. It was a group of nefarious beings who created a corporation and their own constitution. But the lawful government is called the Republic, and the lawful constitution is the Constitution for the United States of America, and not the Constitution of. Two different constitutions. We're returning back to our lawful constitution.
So how about that, ladies?
Wow.
It's
something to digest for sure.
Yeah, two different things.
These lawsuits with Empress Verdiasi Gaston El Bay, and the lawsuit with the farmers taking the United States corporation to the highest court, to world courts, led to them saying, okay, we have to do something about this. What will happen is that the farmers will get their claims first, they will be compensated first, and then everyone else, because you had a lot of people after those two entities took the United States corporation and their federal banking system to court, you had a lot of entities, even other groups, that took them to court and won a judgment. Now, one of the reasons why people who are classified as Black did not or have not received what they call reparations is because they keep calling themselves Black, and they are not. Our Empress, the Empress Verdiasi Gaston El Turner Bay, already handled that matter for us, and we will be compensated. There's no such thing as Black. That is not an ethnicity. It is not a nation. It is not even a nationality. We're all Americans. You may come from different families or different tribes, but we are American. And if you know the original or 1828 Webster's definition of American, it is the copper-colored people found here by Christopher Columbus, but now applied to Europeans. And then they go on to say, we all must call ourselves American or something like that. Look up the definition, it's really interesting. So let's get back to the Republic being restored and us having a global currency reset. Now, what made the United States dollar the reserve currency was that we had an agreement with Saudi Arabia. And our agreement was, you give us the oil and we'll protect you in your country, and we will force every nation to trade with United States dollar. But what we see happening now is that the BRICS nations, starting with Russia, dropped the United States dollar, the USD, as the reserve currency. And they said, we will return to our own currency. We will have a basket of currencies backed by precious metals. If you're not familiar with the BRICS nations, that is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South America. They left the United States dollar. I have reported on this numerous times, so you all know this. Then Saudi Arabia came out and said they're leaving the USD. Now, if having the United States be in agreement with Saudi Arabia that we protect you, you give us the oil, we'll force the world to trade with the United States dollar. We know that occurred, but now since Saudi Arabia has broken the agreement by saying, we don't want to deal with you all anymore, we'll drop in the US dollar. That is amazing. It's significant because now there is no reserve currency known as the USD. As a matter of fact, Iran, Iraq, Turkey, Indonesia, Malaysia, and other nations. Did I say Egypt? Yes, other nations then agreed to drop the USD, and they announced either covertly or overtly that they are returning to gold as the standard or their reserve mode of trading. Now, this gets us back to the 209 countries that had agreed. And we learned this from the people who are involved in the farmers' claims and the people who are involved in the claims against the United States corporation that our Empress Bertiasi Gaston L. Tunica or Turner Bay had filed. This is amazing because one of the things that came out of, as an aside, out of her judgment was that the United Nations declared so-called Black people, who are the indigenous people in America, the oldest indigenous people on the planet. And that doesn't surprise you, right? Now that I've reported on, and so have other people, that the ancient map came out, and the ancient map shows America and this whole region, was it North America, Canada, and Canada, is actually Egypt, and actually is the center of civilization. Now, I don't know if you believe that or not, but I saw the map, I reported on it. I will put that video in this video as well. So the United Nations declared the indigenous people as the oldest indigenous people on the planet, and that occurred in the 1990s. That's just an aside of all the things that came out of these lawsuits. So now, getting back to the global currency reset, this just simply means that all the nations agreed to return to gold, silver, palladium, and platinum, or precious metals, as the standard for trading and as money. So when these nations drop the United States dollar, this is information that is not reported on mainstream media. That meant that the value of the USD declined. And as the value of fiat currency declines, the value of precious metals increases. Silver and gold are about to explode. So if I were you, I would get some in my own possession. Now, Miles Franklin has a CEO, Andy Schectman, and Andy Schectman, who's been doing this since he was 19 for 30 years, has told us that billionaires are now getting into the market, and millionaires too, buying up precious metals. So I'll put his information in the description section as well if you want to buy precious metals from him or roll over your IRAs or whatever you need to do. But there are all other type of companies also from which you can buy silver and gold. But if you work with Andy, just let him know that Dr. Kia Pruitt recommended you, and you will get the best prices. And yes, you will be helping your sister out. But there are other companies that also offer precious metals. And it's imperative to look in your local city as well, because what happens is you want to establish a relationship with your local dealers. And if you do, then if you need to sell it back or you need to buy more, then you have someone right in your vicinity to buy precious metals. The premiums may be a little lower as well because you are buying locally. So let's get back into the global currency reset. Basically, that means what a reset is you tear down the old system and you return to something that everybody agrees upon. That's it. So typically at the end of every empire, the government or the people in control of the money sources rack up the debt, spend as much money as they can, and then they destroy the old system and return to a sound monetary system, which in our case is gold and silver or precious metals. When that happens, my darlings, the currencies all over the globe will revalue. Yes, at the same time. So a lot of people on my channel are invested in Iraqi dinar, Venezuelan Bolivar or Bolivares. What else? The Vietnamese dong, the Zimbabwean zim, Indonesian rupiah, Indian rupee, and other currencies. All the currencies worldwide will revalue at the same time, and they will be 1-to-1 because they're all backed by precious metals and by the resources that each country has. So this is what President Trump meant when he said, soon we will all return to a global monetary system where everybody will be on the same level playing field. Aren't you excited, my darlings? Please know there is a difference between the global currency reset and the Great Reset. The Great Reset was a nefarious old system that was created by the New World Order. They had intended for all of us to return to one monetary system that they can control, but that will not happen. It's not allowed. They're being dismantled, judged, and taken off the planet. What will happen is a global currency reset where all the countries all around the globe have agreed to return to using silver and gold as the standard. Now, if you want to look it up to see if this is true, look up Project Sandman, and I'll see if I can find an article or a video to put in the comment section or the description section so you can see that for yourself. Now, when we all return to this global monetary system, all the banks will be on something called the quantum financial system. That is a system that was given to us by our benevolent galactic brothers and sisters. We give thanks. And that system will monitor all trade and will monitor our buying activity, and it will make the banking system be more benevolent and accountable. So your actions will be monitored. How much you buy, yes, that's important to make sure nobody is buying children or trading humans or trading, or buying drugs or anything like that. I'm getting a call. Now, when that happens, my darlings, and the global currency reset occurs and all the currencies revalue at the same time, they will be backed by precious metals and become worth something. You can only print something that is backed by gold and silver, but we will actually return to using precious metals again. Now, precious metals are so important because they heal your body. You can also ingest monatomic gold, colloidal silver, colloidal platinum, and palladium, and I do. And so it makes me feel amazing. I feel like my overall health is good, and it prevented me from getting sick during the shutdown. But you can actually place metals on your body. And sometimes I do that if my mood is low. I put the metals on my body and near my heart chakra, and I can actually feel magnetic energy flowing through my body and raising my mood and my frequencies and making me feel better. So that's just an aside. When this happens, my darling, all of you that hold exotic currencies will be able to go to a bank because now they have benevolent practices or benevolent systems operating within them, and you will be able to exchange it for the new United States rainbow currency or silver and gold. or you will be able to actually have it held in the quantum financial account that we each have as digital assets. So you'll be able to purchase using these digital modes. And I think that all the things we've been going through kind of led up to this. So although the nefarious people wanted to monitor our actions and control us and say, if you don't do what we say, then we'll just take all your money. Now the benevolent people are in control. My darlings, if you do not trust that system, just exchange and then go and buy you some gold and silver immediately, or do it now, because nobody can monitor what you do with your gold and silver. You have your own bank. You are becoming your own banking system. Now I'm going to wrap this up. But know that the banking systems are now operating very benevolently, or at least they're in the process of that happening. When you exchange your currencies, you will, yes, sign an NDA. But I don't believe it'll be like all these gurus who are saying, oh, you'll sign an NDA and you can't say how much you've exchanged for and what you got to return. No, my darlings, now the banks and the bank representatives work for you. When Donald Trump reversed the Dodd-Frank Act, or he changed or modified it, he made it so that banks are not able to take our money.
3 seafoods to avoid. Seafood is delicious and can be great for your health.
And trade it and do nefarious things with it. When he returns, those things will go back into place. So the bank representatives will now have to sign a non-disclosure agreement with us, stating that they won't tell anybody how much we exchange. They won't be able to run their mouths and talk. They have to do everything in discretion. So maybe we'll have to sign that, but they will then work for us and not the other way around as it had been. So be encouraged, family. I would also recommend going to a bank rather than a exchange center, because I don't really know much about the exchange centers, but anybody can create an exchange center. I personally prefer a bank where my quantum financial account QFS is already set up, and they will have regulations and stipulations ensuring that they follow these regulations and make sure that they sign NDAs. Now, if I find more information out about these exchange centers, I will come to you. And please, if you find out more, you come and tell us and report to the family what you have learned. Now, let me see if I've gotten everything out. One of the things you will do when that happens is those of you who are creating humanitarian projects from this exchange, you will be protected by Homeland Security. All of us who have this wonderful idea and thoughts about helping humanity, helping fight homelessness, and helping just with people who are drug addicted and helping to rehabilitate our people, our family coming home from the prisons and starting schools and all these things, cleaning up water and air. We have wonderful ideas. This is the perfect time to look at your humanitarian project and go through it and make sure it looks good, because during the exchange, my understanding is that we will talk to wealth managers and be given wealth managers to discuss the humanitarian projects, and we will be protected by Homeland Security because we're doing a great work for humanity and we will have great wealth. Now that leads me to something else. You will also then create trust, because if you have assets, or when you have assets, you're all about to become millionaires and billionaires, multimillionaires. You need to put your assets in trust. At that time, we will be on common law because the republic will have been restored. So at that time, you will probably, most likely, according to my intel and my mentor, have a common law, irrevocable living business trust. So that just means, you know, it's a trust, it's a place. A trust is something, a document that holds and manages your assets. A trust is different from a will. Now, you need a trust then, but you may have some assets now. If you have land, if you have a house, cars, businesses, whatever you have right now, your assets need to be in a trust. Although we're not operating on common law, you still can have your assets in a trust right now, because a trust just simply means that you are now operating in the private. Nobody needs to know what you own. John D. Rockefeller said, Own nothing, control everything. This is how rich people operate. This is why you hear something called, oh, he's a trust baby, a trust fund baby. My darlings, trust is not just for people with a whole lot of money. If you have any type of asset, a house is your greatest asset. That means you have wealth, my darlings. Now, I'm not going to go much into trust right now because I will bring my attorney friend on and he will talk to you about what a trust is, how it's different from a will, why you need one now, the benefits of a trust being that you can operate in the private, you have lower taxes. Now, when we return to constitutional law, you won't have taxes except for taxes on exorbitant items, but you won't have income tax or none of that. But for right now, it will lower your taxes. It will prevent you from having your assets in your estate to go through probate or probate court. He will explain all of that and how you can operate in anonymity and actually live like the wealthy right now, my darlings. You don't want to be sued anyway if something happens in your property or on your property, right? And you don't need everybody knowing how you live and move and what you own. Put your assets in a trust. Again, a trust is a document, a lawful document, my darlings, that become lawful the moment you fund them. And you can fund them with something as, I don't want to say minuscule, but you can fund them with something like a life insurance policy, or there are multiple ways to fund your trust. We will talk to him, my good friend, attorney Scott Hall, and his wonderful company that handles trust. He's licensed all over the country. He will teach you how to move and operate like the wealthy in anonymity or in privacy, like the rich people. Now, a trust is different from a will because in that a will just simply states or expresses your desires or what you desire to happen once you die or transition. But a will does not transfer assets. A will does not guarantee that who you leave assets to gets them. Your will has to first go through probate court, which is costly and lengthy, okay? Anybody can contest your will, and then you have to file fees. It has to go through processes, and that money, every time that it's filed, will come out of your estate. This is estate planning. This is being proactive and responsible as a steward over the wealth that the Creator has given you. You need this information now. If you have a will, that's the beginning of estate planning. And it's wonderful to have because you express your wishes. But again, it goes through probate court, and the courts will decide what happens with your assets, not your will. But a trust, on the other hand, is operating in a private. The government has nothing to do with your trust. The attorneys have nothing to do with it. Once it's drawn up right now, you actually create an account and you fund it, and then you can move and operate in a private right now. Protect yourself, protect your assets. So if you value privacy, if you desire to control all of your wealth and not have courts to dictate what happens to your wealth now and in death, you need a trust, my darlings. Again, we'll get more into it and how there are different trusts. The most important or most commonly known trust is the irrevocable trust, the revocable trust, the living trust, and the testamentary trust. But we'll get into that with our attorney friend soon when we do a podcast on what trusts are. So, my darlings, you need to protect your assets, and you will do that during your exchange, and you will have a wealth manager that will help you manage your wealth or teach you how to manage your wealth. And I encourage you, my darlings, my global humanitarian, wonderful family, soul family, to make sure your children and your family members learn estate planning and wealth management. Because I've spoken to wealth managers who have managed sports, people are athletes and people who hit the lottery, and they all say within 5 years, these people lose their wealth because it's not protected in trust. Now, when you have something in trust, you can actually dictate how much is given out to each family member. And you can set parameters like you must be married, you must graduate from college, you must do A, B, or C, because it's your wishes and they will be granted because the person who is managing the trust, you will be able to tell right now, while you're living, what happens. And even upon your death or your transition, you can control your trust and your assets from the grave. So my name is Dr. Kia Pruitt. I've covered just a little bit of what's going to happen after the global currency reset and the restoration of the republic. We're going on 30 minutes talking. Just know we're all going to be wealthy, because one of the parameters of Jasara Nasara is that every human being will receive $100,000 a month for 11 years in a non-interest bearing account. So it's $100,000 per month or up to 20 million, but only for 11 years in a non-interest bearing account. So you need to learn estate planning and wealth building right now so that you will know how to manage your funds and not run through the money. The reason why we'll get this money through Nasara and Gasara is because we've been enslaved by the nefarious people who were in power. And this, my darlings, is a way to compensate us for dealing with all the exorbitant usury and interest rates and the nefarious banking practices, et cetera, et cetera. I will go more into the benefits of Nasara Gasara, the National Economic Security Reformation Act, and the Global Security Reformation Act later on, probably tomorrow or later on today. So I hope I've given you information to put in your arsenal and raise your vibrations and get excited about what is to come. Namaste, family. Have a joyous day. As a matter of fact, make it great, joyous, and productive. I love you. Peace.
Well.
Well.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's what you were talking about when you made that comment on Tuesday. Well, I didn't know about Nasara Jasara, but I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, I am too. Again. It takes some time to digest that stuff. It's something new.
But I will say too, relative to what she was saying.
Come on camera, babe.
Oh, I'm sorry. What she was saying about the trust, last week, Monday, for the first time, a girlfriend of mine invited me to listen in, and this man is talking the same thing about the need for a trust. And it's his business, but he's teaching that. So today is like the 5th time now that I've heard, and all that she was saying are things that he was saying. And I actually made an appointment with an attorney and went and talked to the attorney, and he laid out, from the attorney aspect, these same things. So it's kind of, okay, Jackie, go ahead and get my trust.
Yeah, I'm getting the same thing too. I don't know if any of you were participating in the call on Freedom Fridays with Dr. Shirley Archer. She's a naturopathic doctor, but she brought some people in that were telling us about trust as well. And so this is really coming forth about this whole wealth transfer thing. It's really coming out, and thank you for bringing it to our attention and helping us get more focused in it and prepare to take the steps we need to take. Thank you.
Well, the other thing too, while she was saying, I looked up the quantum
financial,
I think it was quantum something. And this document came up saying about the FDIC. And they had a transcript. So I'm going to print that transcript out. But they were talking, it's like, oh my God. Okay. Get prepared. Remember when we started, even with my sharing about becoming more aware of managing your money.
Yeah.
And the idea and the fact that we don't know what we don't know. But when we're presented with information to make those better decisions, hopefully we'll take those steps to do what we need to do to prepare and better ourselves. And this is one of those moments. So just as Star said and Juanita said, thank you for sharing this. And I'm gonna look up, I'm gonna go and re-listen to her because she loves saying whoever that lady Bay.
Yeah, yeah.
So thank you.
Anyone else?
I will say that the dollar that we have now is kind of worthless. They have printed out new money, and the new money that they printed out is backed by gold. At some point, we don't know when, but I don't think it's too long from now, they're going to be making announcements about the new money. The banks, to my understanding, the banks do have it. However, until the announcement is made, they can't circulate it. Because if you go in a bank and they give you that, you'll think they're giving you play money or money that's not real, when that's not the case. It just has not been announced yet. The new republic has not been announced yet. The United States of America Incorporated no longer exists. So the current president, Biden, is the president of something that no longer exists. However, the people don't know that yet because announcements have not been made. There's a lot going on. I'm pretty certain that most of you, if not all of you, have heard about Russia attacking, was it Ukraine? Have you heard about that?
Yeah, that's all they've been doing. That's all that's been in the news for the past 7 months.
Okay, the real reason that they did that is they're getting rid of the human trafficking and all of that other stuff that's going on, that human trafficking, selling children, all of that stuff is going on over there. And that's what they're doing. They're not just attacking them for nothing. They're getting rid of that kind of stuff, that kind of evil. It has not been announced yet. So when the announcements come, there is going to be a whole lot of people that are going to be in shock because they didn't know all of that was going on. So we just wanted the Elizabeths to be prepared so that when the truth does come out.
Hold on. Go ahead.
About 9/11 and why that happened. That happened in-house. That didn't have nothing to do with the man they blamed it on. And what bugs me about it is that they blamed it on an Arab, which caused the American people to have something against the Arab people when they had nothing at all to do with it. All of that is going to come out. I know Deetra said that she listened to what was posted about Nasara. So if she listened to the whole thing, she knows what happened and why 9/11 happened. Nasara, which is going to help the people, 9/11 happened to stop that. This was something that was supposed to be implemented back then. I think what was it, 2000, 2001 when 9/11 happened?
Exactly, yes.
That happened to stop that. Because when Nasara happens, the 1% are basically what they're called the cabal, the ones that want to be in control or were in control. They got together to stop Nasara because it takes them out of power. Well, they can't stop it now. And so there is a war going on, one that you could see with the natural eye and one that you can only see with the spiritual eye. And these wars are going on to bring the power back to the people and take it away from the ones that are robbing the people. The banking system, I'm talking about the system, along with the IRS system, the way that they were doing things, they're robbing the people. And that makes it illegal, but the people don't know that. All of that is going to be announced. We just don't know when. So when you hear it, you won't be shocked. So there's a lot going on. I do suggest that you kind of look up Nasara for yourself so that you'll know the benefits that you're going to get, because there's a lot of benefits that's going to come with Nasara.
Mhm. Yeah, I know that one of the things when we talk about health and wellness is that God did not design us that we would be sick and stuff. So all of that is, and when you talk about the hospitals and the drugs that we end up, they end up giving us, and the games that are being played with our bodies and our minds and stuff, that will be, done away with. And so, well, when they talked about the farmers and stuff, I was listening to something, and they were just talking about the farmers and how they wanted them to stop giving us, isn't that something? I'm going to tell you what you should pay, what you should grow and not grow, and you could get killed or whatever if you go against that for the people. And so they want to control all of that, but that's going to be done away with. And where you have all the hospitals, because we was like, well, what's going to happen to the hospitals? Those doctors are going to learn about holistic healing. They have to turn and shift. So there's going to be a lot of changes that are going on. The right kind of food and all of that's going on. That's one of the reasons why it's important to learn how to grow your own food and how to till your own soil and things like that, because it's been a plan, to be in control. If you're healed and I have a hospital, how am I going to get paid? So it's best that we partner with one another, and you make this drug and you make that drug, and it's so funny that we go to the doctor and whatever they prescribe, we just go and get it. We go get it and we take it, and don't know what's all in there and how it's going to affect us. But then it does something that triggers off something else in your body, right? And then that does something that triggers off something else in your body. And you're always dealing with some type of illness or some type of something that's, not good for your body. So all of that is going to be, taken care of and done away with, because that is part of to keep us in bondage. It's a setup to keep us in bondage so that they can make more money, so that they can be in power. So yeah, we just want you guys to know I will drop in things in the chat or something that we thought maybe you should check out. Mama Evelyn, you make the funniest. What is on your mind? What is on your mind? What are your thoughts? And let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you this now. Many people do not believe this. And many people have a problem with it. Many people, because you can't find everything on the internet, and purposely. But if you know where to go, there are some things that are out there that talks directly about this. There's some podcasts that talk about it. There are, articles. There are where when it opens up to you, this is about anything in life, that when it opens up to you, then you're like, okay, because you don't know what you don't know, you don't know. And what you don't know how to ask. You don't even know until something is brought to you and it's like, let me check that out. And then if you're really serious, more information begins to come to you. And that will lead to another document, and that will lead to another document and things like that. So Sandy, can you share how how it is with the courts and stuff, where we are subjected to the courts and they really have no power? You are so dark now, Jacqueline. Your light has,
Yeah.
We don't want your light to dim.
Thank you.
The courts are demonic and they are ignoring everything that is law. And if you don't know how to repel them, they will continue to overtake you. Yesterday in court, I know the codes and how they suck you in, and they were, and because I am who I am, they try to eliminate my due process or give me time to respond properly with great affidavits. So they thought that they were limiting me by giving me 3 days for an eviction. Because I've managed to stay in my apartment for over a year without paying, and they just got sick and tired of it. So they gave me a Black female judge, supposedly that would limit my ability to fight back. But anyone on their side is, as far as I'm concerned, is demonic and helping them. So they always start out by asking you your name, and you never, ever, ever answer their questions, ever. You always respond with ultimatum or the law, or you ask them a question. But because she had already received my document, because I worked hard to get the document in. We went to the post office late down here downtown at 10, and I took my diplomat with me so that he could encourage, because I work as a consular court specialist under him, under the Moore Science Temple of America. And he has direct access to Trump. So we went into the post office, couldn't send the document overnight via registered mail. So he talked to the woman who was also a supervisor that night, and I was able to get my document in overnight to the judge. Of course, she received the document and had to come up with a method of trying to get me to counteract what was in that document. So when she asked me my name, I introduced myself as someone other than what she wanted me to. And she got fiery with me. Give me your name. Is your name Sandy Seen? Is your name? And I was louder than her with what I wanted her to know. And it was recorded live on YouTube. It's not on there yesterday. And I responded with laws. That's all I did, was kept responding with laws. And I was louder than her. So what they had to do was bump me off of the recording so that nobody would hear what it was I was saying. Because usually when you step into an actual courtroom, they will, even if you're on time, let's say your appointment is 8:30, what they would normally do is listen to everybody's case, leaving you to be the last one so that all of the sheep are gone. And now you can present your case because they don't want anybody to hear what you have to say. In this case, she accessed me first. First of all, the Zoom calls are unlawful. It's not private, and it's all on YouTube. That is unlawful. So I started out with that. I do not consent. This is unlawful. And she kept saying something over me, and I kept talking over her till she bumped me off. So I'll check again today to see if she's on, if it's on YouTube. They probably didn't want to put that on there, because if my voice came through louder than hers, then the people would hear and know what it is I'm saying. With Sarah, my husband was ex-federal judge. He was the one to tell Clinton, he advised the generals to put Clinton on the gunpoint in order to sign the Jacera, because they weren't going to do it. He signed it under gunpoint, and then they decided that they would collapse the buildings in New York in order to, because that was the day it was supposed to happen. Instead, they collapsed and blamed everything on somebody else and all this. So today, I have more news for you and Pam after today's meeting, which is why I had to get off the phone. I mean, off the Zoom. And but it's all good news. It's all great news. So
So and so in order to do what I want to tell them, remind me about Christopher. That's some more information that they can go to is and who he is.
Yeah, Mark Kishan Christopher. He's the Chief Federal Postal Judge. Mark Kishon Christopher. You can access him on YouTube. Everything that we do has to be done through the post office because that is our office. That's why they try to keep you from putting anything through the mail by giving you lack of timing to come into court. So once it goes through the mail, they have to honor it.
Now, who's Mark Christopher Kishon
He's
again?
the Chief Federal Postal Judge in the UK.
And what in the UK?
And he gives us a lot of classes on what is going on all over the world and how we should respond in order to benefit against the demonic order.
And I've heard now with the Bay, I've heard that in the past in national, can't say the word, nationality, with people changing their name and adding Bay or L to it, is that?
Well, people think they have to do that, but the reality is when you look at your bills, your name is in all uppercase.
Right.
Signifying you as a dead person. So they're accessing your labor and everything through that dead person. So when they ask you your name in court, if you have to respond, you say, instead of saying yes to whatever they say, you say uppercase S, lowercase UNZIE, uppercase, because that signifies you as a living person. You have to go in and say, I'm a living person. This person that you're talking about is not me, it's dead. There's a lot to that. So what I do, I just go in as her superior, and I told her that I am your superior, be quiet. And she didn't be quiet, so I kept talking.
So did Mark Christopher, he teaches what you're talking about?
He teaches it on an international level.
Okay.
So this is some of this is some of Mark Christopher, just so you can see who he is.
That's being done right now.
All debts and mortgages have been given globally. And there are people that have experience. Now, know that they can't just do this like tomorrow, bam, it's going to happen for everybody, because it would be crazy. Yeah, you know, so they have to just slowly, you know, we know of people. I don't personally know of people, but, you know, I know personally people who have friends that have been, that these things are happening. Education, where, you know, they're taking care of that, as far as like taxes and income tax and stuff like that. No. And from what I just listened to, it's the taxes will be on new items, and then new items instead of every item. Let me tell you what I think it's just ridiculous. When you purchase something, like I purchased something, I purchased furniture for my school, and that they can come, and I pay taxes on that. Now they're going to every year charge me usury. I've never paid it, you know, and I mean, I get letters threatened, but I paid my taxes for that. And that's how the system just keeps us in bondage with that stuff. Just make up rules. I'm just going to make up some rule so that I can get some money, you know.
Allow me to add something quickly.
Sure.
And this is part of what I'm going to tell you and Pam, but this I can share. With our phones and all of that is going to be free. And what they're going to do is to get you to contract for $10 a month to make you think that this is a great deal. But in reality, it's going to be free. So never agree with anything they ask you to do because that's a contract. And once you settle into it, you're in. So if your internet, your phone and Wi-Fi and all of that is going to be free, they're trying to get people to go for $10 a month.
Who's they?
The corporation, Xfinity, all of those people who hold your bills. So don't contract with any of them. Just keep on the way things are. And when it's free, and that's coming. And I would share more with you all if you could keep this Zoom open for you and Pam. And we have some things to share that is important.
Wow, I just canceled at the family house. I just canceled the internet, and it was $10 a month because I had a bridge card. But I said, I'm not over there, so I'm not gonna even pay that. So I canceled that.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that are coming down that are happening. Some are experiencing that now. We know of a farmer that has shared that things are happening. They have paid off the farmers. So that was what they consider before they do the global reset. There are other organizations or like the farmers, they have to pay them off first.
Yes.
Before it comes down. It was not intended, especially for us to find out about it.
Right.
It is not intended. And believe me, a lot of Detroiters know about this. And a lot of our people know about it so that we can help take care of our community. It was not, when they did that, what is that called? When they helped the banks out and stuff, when
bailout.
Yeah, the bailouts and stuff. That money never reached us. It never reached us.
That's right.
So what they're doing is setting it up where those who choose to be involved in that, because as a humanitarian, what Dr. Pruitt was talking about, that's for us to go out and take care of our community. And what they're doing is they want you to take care of your family, make sure that your family is set up for generations, like 5 generations, that you got the trust created to take care of them. And then with whatever else you have, you take care of your community, you take care of, the Detroit, your community, and the United States, whatever that thing is. Like for me, helping people bring forth their visions and dreams, that's important to me. And so when I talk about my things that I want to do, it's not based on what I have now, believe me. It is not based on what I can accumulate, believe me. That takes, time, and you got to, all the resources and stuff. It is based on what I know is from the exchange. And when that happens, that is what I am agreeing to do, is to help people. But first, they want you to make sure you take care of your family, set them up properly, and then we'll learn how to deal with the trust and how to divide things and stuff. Sharon's trying to get in. Alita gave me 2 codes, but they didn't work. I sent her the code. 1 second. I did. Well, I thought I did. 1 second here.
Yeah, so in reference to lawyers, they're going to have to be retrained once the new republic is announced, because the laws will change. So they have to be retrained from the old system, from the United States of America Incorporated.
Because they stopped teaching laws in the schools and they only taught codes, rules, regulations under the United States Corporation. My issue with them relearning is it's the same demons. They're teaching now the laws. But if you know the law, when you step in, there's nothing that they can do. So, yeah.
Yes, so get ready, get ready, get ready.
Hi, Mama Hetaru. I just have to say this real quick. You lifted my spirit so much when I saw you doing that dancing and going across that floor. Girl, I'm telling you, I talked about that in my heart for days. I was way up here. I saw you do that. I said, look at this girl.
Just to kind of inform you, every other Friday, when Mama Head announces about an event that's every other Friday. I can't recall what the name of it is. She'll share that. But you can just come. And I told Sunday, I said, you got to come. I know she likes to dance and stuff. And now that I know that Jacqueline loves to dance and stuff, you talk about like just a house party where you can just be free. You want to go over there and sit down on the floor, you can do that. You want to dance, you can do that. You want to play your instruments and stuff, you can do that. And it's such a wonderful, wonderful feeling. There's enough space. We were doing hula hoops. We had hula hoops, and
that's Mama
there was
Dean,
real
boy, she
room
had
for the dance, and I'll walk around, and sometimes they have vendors. So
when is that? You said every other Friday?
Every other Friday. So it was not this Friday. It'll be next Friday. Yeah, as well.
This must be what Baba Ari told me about.
That's where he was. Yes. That's where he was when he took the pictures.
Okay.
And yeah, so y'all have any questions or comments? Now, I want to say politically, you'll hear the Democrats and Republicans, you'll hear Donald Trump's name brought up, and you'll hear as being very much a part of why, helping this to come through. Don't let any of whatever your political agenda is, because things will change and things will change and things will change in all our lives. There's always a different leader and they bring forth certain things. Just know that it is God's will for us to be free. We should not be in bondage. Financial bondage is almost as bad as somebody coming in and feeding you some poison. If you get stressed out from financial bondage, that is not the will of God. That is not why we are here to love and share and help each other to live abundantly, physically abundantly, emotionally abundantly. Our chakra should not be going through all the changes that it has to go through.
Tell me about it.
So I mean, this is real stuff. So y'all have any questions or comments? I know Mama Head, you missed most of it. But we're going to share some more about it, because the three of us, we deal with this every day. It's part of our conversation. It's part of our looking forward to. It's part of our preparing for. Yeah, so you have any questions or comments?
I do. Anybody else seen some of these references in the scriptures about the time coming when our God's people be restored to a level of wealth and the riches of the rich being transferred?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's in the word, right?
Exactly. All this is spiritual. There are, whatever your beliefs, there are other entities here that are helping us. We are not stuck with what we have, who we have here, but I think you heard Dr. Pruitt say about the galactic that are here, because we as humans, we only know so much. And so, they're here to help push this through. One of the other things in the Bible talks about 1,000 years of peace.
Yes.
Yes. And so, yeah, it's all part of it. You have to, it's out there. It is on the internet, believe me, the information is out there. But I look forward to that. I don't even want to hear no more about bondage.
That's right.
And our children being stolen and sex trafficking and you know, I have food, but my next door neighbor does not have food. I was so I went to the Easter market and they had for $2 you could buy it was I think six grapefruit, not grapefruits, it was pineapples. And for me to be able to go next door and say, I got all these pineapples, would you like some? And she said, yeah. And I said, how many do you want? Yeah, I'll take 2. That's cool. Now, most of the time, you don't even know who your neighbors are, you know, and I don't really know her. She's new to the area, but just being able to do that, to take care of one another. Okay, any other questions or comments?
I want to add, it's quite a bit to wrap your head around.
Yeah.
I must admit, it's quite a bit. And it's like, you know, it's like you're getting information. Mm-hmm. And then I feel like for me, it's like, it's a part of me that is like, this is really interesting. It's another part of me that is like trying to fight it. Like, no, it can't be. And then it's like, but there's so many things that have happened historically where, you know, you've gotten the information beforehand, or people have gotten information beforehand, just like, nah, that's not it. And then boom. So it's quite a bit to take in, and still so much more to understand. And yeah. I feel like over time, as we learn, but also just as we are able to actually see these processes starting to take place, we'll really start to have a better understanding. But this is quite a lot. Like, it is.
I mean, have you noticed a lot of banks are closing?
Mm-hmm.
It's the fees that takes care of banks being open. And then when you go to a bank and they tell you what you cannot take, and it's your money, you can only take out, so you have to leave this amount in there, blah, 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 blah. Or you're being charged for this. You're being charged. Oh, it's just, you know, we have been bamboozled. And it is gonna take, there are some who have gone through being sovereign. And I know I was afraid of that. I'm gonna tell you just straight up. I was afraid to being sovereign, because then, like, when you are like a Sunsy person that will stand up, that means she knows a lot. That means she has studied a lot to come against the whole court system. You know what I mean? And some people have gotten into that information and they just went and took a class, and then now they want to, you know, send this paper in, and they don't know what they're doing. And because they're used to it, and they'll do anything to scare you, and you don't know how to stand up for your rights, then you just say, you know, oh, you want to stay? I ain't going. And it is like they call it like a conspiracy theory. Yeah.
Because they're used to being hypnotized in one way. And once that hypnotism set in, then what they put on YouTube or whatever, then you look like the enemy instead of them. So if they put mine up, then they'll make it look like I'm the enemy for fighting back. But that's okay, because they're soon to learn, very, very, very soon.
Yeah.
It's like we're almost like drug addicts. It's like,
exactly,
we want the poison, you know, because
yes.
it's what we used to living off of.
Well, even when you what was that? There was when Jacqueline was talking about, you know, her family or her friends that was helping her and telling her what she should take and use and all that kind of stuff. There are so many people that you tell this to, what she said, you know, they told me to do this and get this and use this and blah, 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 blah. There are some will say, no,
right.
I'm not going to try that. I'm going to go to my doctor. I'm going to do what my doctor says, because they're used to that.
Razia's daughter. You heard about Razia's daughter?
No,
Her oldest daughter, Sylvia, she took the jab and now she has a cancerous thing in her. Yeah, and so the spirit told me the only thing she can do because of that graphene oxide that's in the system is to take the pine needle oil to break it down as a tea. So I told her 3 times a day. But once you take that, now you're being controlled by the air, sea, land. And if they turn you on, you'll kill your mother. And they say once you take that jab, you belong to them. You're no longer considered human because they know that it's going to change your DNA.
What are you talking about?
The COVID vaccine, so-called COVID vaccine.
This for the transhumanism.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we just want you all to not be overwhelmed and just be more aware of things that are happening, like the banks, how many banks are closing up. It's not just because they couldn't pay their rent. It's a lot of other things that happen. And if you go to the bank and you ask a teller, or they won't know, they don't even know. Not until it's time to be revealed will everybody begin, and they're going to spoon feed people the information. I mean, I'm spoon fed, but at least I've started that. At least started
the
that.
Chinese HSBC has purchased all these banks here already, including the top banks at Wells Fargo. So all these banks now, when you go in throughout the city, you walk in, they're actually HSBC, whether it's
Fifth Third or
yes.
Yeah.
That's like our real estate, you know. Our houses, you go on the tax records and see all them strange names of people who own these properties.
Yeah.
And then people who are renting them, they got to send some of these rent payments overseas.
Yeah.
I had some writers who were telling me, I took them to a really nice neighborhood. I'm like, oh, y'all got a really nice place and blah, blah, blah. And they were talking about how, yeah, it's owned by some overseas something. And when they send their check in or whatever, however they pay, it's going overseas.
Yeah. So, yep. And as things come and we think you guys should know, we will drop some sites that you should go and check out and just listen to them. Listen without judgment. Just listen. It's information, and some information that they don't want you to have. They definitely don't want you to act on them. You know, and it's a new dawn. It's a new day. I'm telling you. When she's saying
the beauty of it, the beauty of it is, you know, once they get through trying to run these trains over us and, you know, just trying to annihilate us, and we shake it off and we are still standing victorious, they're gonna know God is real. You can't help but know that God is real when you've done everything that you try to do to destroy somebody, and they shake it off and stand up and walk tall and strong. And then you got to come to them for what you try to deprive them of. Watch out.
But know that also that like Deetra was saying, her word was peace. Peace on earth. And peace on earth means that we are all equal. Peace on earth is that every country, we're more about taking care of one another than we are about seeing the difference in us. And I'm going to help this person and not the other person. And it's about bringing about that peace on earth, goodwill towards men. And it doesn't say godly men. It doesn't say that. Peace to all mankind.
Yes.
Hearts get to change. We're not feeling like we're being dominated and controlled and all the feelings that come with low vibes, low vibrations and poverty and sickness and homelessness. I'm gonna tell you, this household, my husband, when he found out about it, and he is very skeptical. You can't stop him, even when I'm in like those modes of it ain't happened yet. He stands strong and confirmed. He has his resources that he listens to and make sure that we're updated about all of this stuff. And Pam stays updated about all of this. There's certain people that we listen to. And yeah, so we're just really waiting on that thing to happen. When that happens, as far as the global currency reset, there's still a lot of things that has to be done. But I'm not like, oh, when this happened, we're going to be devastated and we're not going to have money, we're not going to have food, we're going to have a lot of starvation, we're going to fight and all that kind of stuff. As Deidre said, peace on earth, goodwill towards all mankind, not the ones that just believe what I believe, not just this religion or that religion, because when I hear God's people, every one of us are God's people.
Yes.
Every person, every animal is God's. There are some people won't kill an ant. If I can take you out, bug, I'm gonna take you outside you because I need you to live outside. You and not paying rent here. But to not, I'll tell you. Deidre, you came on camera, so what you got to say?
I just want to say thank you for sharing, of course. I'm with you. My husband says, is that a economist talking or what? How do they know what they're talking about? So I'm going to keep listening and jotting down stuff. So please keep sharing.
Absolutely. Anyone else? We are at 10 o'clock and I'm actually going to Danielle's, the event conference this weekend. So I'll be learning some other stuff.
Yeah, I was going to go too, but she never sent me the link for the ticket. So I don't know what happened, but.
It was in that WhatsApp thread, wasn't it?
Maybe, but I sent her a private note. I told her I sent my money to her and everything. And I thought she was going to send it to me personally.
Yeah.
That's a busy lady. She might have thought that once she posted it for everybody, that everybody had it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, if you still want to go, I'm sure it's not too late. She still has them.
Peace, everybody.
It is done. Peace. Yeah. So you want to greet us, Mama Head, before we leave? You're busy, so I don't know what you're doing over there. Hitting.
I'm putting together. Wait, is it almost 10 o'clock or is it 9:02?
It is 10:02, boo.
Oh, I still have my stuff set for Indiana. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? Okay, greetings, Elizabeth. Yeah, I'm here at my friend Martine's home. She retired and left Detroit and moved to Jonesboro, Georgia, and I am here. We crashed at her home, so I'm earning my keep. I'm putting some furniture together for her. My husband's doing some other things to help the sister. Got to earn your keep, So I made breakfast and she came home and was able to come home and eat. But I just want to say thank you, and I'm going to make sure I watch this. When will this be up? Because I need to watch it as soon as we get off of here.
Okay, I'll get it up immediately.
No rush. Yeah, my husband is here. We're here in Atlanta and going to Tuskegee. They're having their homecoming this weekend. And one of the brothers that my husband school with, he is having a big celebration today. And we're going to do that. And then Sunday, another gentleman who came to Detroit from Atlanta to do a celebration at our place, at our space, at Shichaba. He's going to have a celebration at a beer garden in Atlanta at Edgewater on Sunday. So we got 2 events and we're going to be partying. So
Okay, have fun. Have fun.
Do a dance for me, girl.
I was going to share a hug in passing.
What did you say? You said something else, Mama Head.
Oh, just that I said I'll put it online so we can be together, you know.
Yeah. Anyone else want to share before we exit into
Love
our
For those of you who may not be aware, do not be alarmed if you're told to stay in your homes the next few days for martial law. There are some changes that I'm going to be discussing with Sheila and Pam. So just know that it is for your greatest good, and go out and get whatever you need right now that you can stock up. I keep crystals to filter my water, shungite, so I don't ever have to buy water in glass jugs. So whatever you have to do.
That eclipse is coming up. So you talking Monday or Tuesday?
They're not giving us a date or time. They just said soon.
Okay. Damn. Okay, prepare. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Sunzi, call me when you get a chance after you. Okay.
I was sure will, baby, be bye.
Okay. Hope. Nope.
So anything come your way? Nope, not today.
Flip the switch.
All right. We haven't heard from you, Sandra. You want to say greetings?
No, because I came in late, but greetings. I am here. I just came in 9:30, so, but you know, I enjoy.
I'm glad to see your face because they always mistaken your name for mine.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yep. Yep.
All right. Love. Give yourself a big hug.
Yes.
Yeah.
And give the world a big hug. See you Monday, if not before.
Love y'all.
Okay, ladies. Great.